All right, what's up, team? You guys, look at this first chart. You see all these dots? Okay, this is just the cover to the ebook. We're going to go through all the charts. We're going to disconnect and reconnect all the dots. Connect them, okay? So, this says Breaking Down the Pencil song, Do Not Leave. I bookmarked all the chapters, grabbed the ebook, but just a quick backstory. This song is from a kid's, well, it was going to be a TV show before the pandemic hit, and I was in Los Angeles working with multiple producers, but as we all know, the pandemic went poof, but this is called Gilbert Rocks and the Clean Salty Dream. So we're going to put it out as kids' books, but music is the soul. These kids, the Gilbert Rocks band, are in a garage band, okay? So this is going to be a perfect lesson so you can kind of see one of the end games for all these lessons I'm giving you on triads and chords and scales. Well, how does that actually get turned into actual music? So we're going to do an acoustic, verse and intro and verse, and then I'm going to show you what I just added on the electric. This is going to give you a whole new level of production, all right? So let's go to the first chart, okay? And if you see on the top right, let me just kind of explain. This is all in the ebook, Acoustic Guitar Intro. So if you see that on the top left, this is Music Theory Monday, so I told you it's going to be deep, okay? Now, A5 equals A, that's the 1 or the root. And then you have E, that's the 5, A, C sharp, E. That would be an A major triad, which we're going to get to more of that later. And then if you see, I add up here, I know you guys have seen somebody do this move from an A, they play like an A bar chord, like an A open, like this. And then they grab that high E and A up there on the B and high E strings. Okay, and of course you got the open A. So the C sharp I just put there, because what I actually do in the intro is I kind of go back and forth. So I'll kind of show you just on this chord. See that? Again, everyone's going to connect dots of different sizes. So you may be a beginner, and I don't want you to leave. I don't want you to get overwhelmed, because what I'm going to tell you, I'm going to say this in every video. Excuse me, this flu thing has still got me a tiny bit. But you need to just connect, maybe just as this is all you get today. Just this. And you learn, oh, okay, I get that chord, okay? And I put the C sharp in purple because you could conceivably just play it like this with just an A and an E, a root and a 5. All right? So that's the first chord of the intro. And this is how it was originally tracked about 10 years ago. Okay, the electric part I just added. Let's go boop to the next chart, and this is in the ebook. So this is a beautiful chord. So this is a C sharp minor 7, okay, and I get the B and high E in there. Hear that? That shape you're gonna love. It's just such a great sounding chord, right? So the C sharp is the 1, the minor 3rd is the E, okay? The B is the minor 7th. We don't have a 5th in there. You notice that? We have a C, E, C sharp, E, B, B, E, okay? So we don't have the 5th in there, which would probably be what? G sharp? Let's see here. Yeah, okay, it would have been a G sharp. All right, now, so look at, I need you, even if you just recognize, see that interval right there, C sharp to E? That is a minor 3rd interval, okay? Okay, so C sharp, E, B. Okay, so that would be that chord. So if I go back to the first chord, and I'll just keep this chart up, we go from the A to the C sharp, minor 7, so. Okay, so it's just a great rhythmic. You're getting like so many pieces of guitar playing in this lesson. That's why I said it's deep. So just watch the whole thing and please like and share it, okay? So then the third chord of the progression, this one's pretty cool. This one's a mouthful. You see that right there? D6, you got an 11 in it. So look at this chord right here. So just strum that. D, F sharp, G, B, and A. So D's the 1, F sharp is the major 3. And again, really recognize those intervals, meaning the distance between the D and the F sharp. That is a major 3rd interval. And that is just, it's a shape. Look, you gotta recognize that stuff, okay? And then you've got the G's the 4th, okay, out of D. And then you've got A's the 5th and B's the 6th, okay? So there's a lot going on in there. But it's beautiful when you put the whole progression together, right? So I'll leave this chart up. Let's just go back to the beginning. The first chord, that A5, to the C sharp minor 7, to this D6 with an 11 in there. So it sounds like this. And then just kind of turns around and does it again. All right, so those are the first 3 chords of the acoustic guitar intro. This is before any of the vocals come in, because now we're going to take a look at the verse. Now, in case you're wondering from the theory aspect, it's in the key of A major, okay? So you got A, the 1, and then you've got the C sharp minor, that'd be the minor 3, okay? And then you've got the D in there, which would be the 4, okay? But we're doing some pretty exotic sounding chords. All right, let's go to the next chart. Then we'll get to the electric part. Now, this same thing, when I start playing the verse after this little intro, I just play the A chord again. Okay, so I put up the same chart, but I use it during the verse, and it's more straight ahead. It's not as funky. It's just like, so it's, okay, and it's just gonna go from an A5 to a C sharp minor bar chord, which we're gonna get to that chart in 2 seconds. Okay, now if you're confused, drop questions. I will answer. Somebody on here will help you. I told you there's a lot in here, so go to the chapters and just break down one section at a time. So A, okay, let's just go to the next chart real fast so you can kind of see, because now we're actually playing through an actual song, a composition, all right? So right there, you see that? That's just a C sharp minor bar chord, right? With the root on the A string. C sharp, G sharp, C sharp, E, G sharp, okay? One more really important thing you need to see. You see that diagonal shape from the G, B, and high E? Excuse me, that's a C sharp minor triad. It's inside of C sharp minor bar chord. C sharp's the 1, E's the minor 3. That's why I wrote M3. And then you got G sharp's the 5. So that's just a C minor, just a C minor, C sharp minor triad. Again, so if I were to play the verse, and then it goes to this little turnaround, which, boop, we're going to go to this chart. I know this is a lot. You guys can do this. Now, this one is super cool because it goes to an open E. And then you see in purple, I put walk octaves up, purple notes. Now, just so you know, this is where I would be singing and playing. So we're not even factoring in vocal phrasing or anything like that. Okay, so we're going to go E major open. Okay, those are the black notes. And then the walk up goes E, F sharp, G sharp. Okay, and that's the 1, 2, 3. You're just walking like part of an E major scale right up. So that one would be like, see, let me play the whole little progression so you can kind of hear it and then see how I walk up the octave. Okay, and if you want to just kind of hear an idea, here's a loose framework. It's a, have you seen my pencil sleeping on the rug? Did you see my pencil was eaten by some bugs? So you see how quick that walk up happens, and I do have to hit it on the upstruck. So it's like, okay, especially when you start pocketing the vocals in there. But again, if maybe you're somebody who wants to learn how to songwrite and do stuff like this and sing, it's a whole nother ball game. If you want me to make some videos on that, drop it in the comments. Now, see if you can just get this. That's a good exercise right there, just the E. And in a minute, when we get to the electric guitar part, you're gonna kind of see how I use some elements of that as well too. And that's where you get into the production side of things and you're thinking like multiple guitar players, right? So if you're trying to get into recording your own stuff, you know, I did a lot of session work too, and a lot of times you have to give the producer like an A, B, C version of something. And so this is kind of why you need to know this stuff. Look, you can get away with playing. You don't have to have theory, but I'm always going to tell you knowledge is power. Connect the dots, okay? All right, so that was the acoustic guitar verse. So again, just the A, C sharp minor bar, A, C sharp minor bar, A, and then to the E, and then back, okay? So there's that. Now, I'm not going to get to the little kind of turnaround part because that'll be too much. But let's go on to the next part, which is going to be the electric guitar intro. So just to kind of wrap up the acoustic intro into the acoustic verse, let me just play that for you real quick with no charts, okay? But again, everything I'm going to play right here is in these charts. And I really want you to burn the theory in your brain. Just again, if you can't, just some of you guys get overwhelmed and you like dip out of here on these videos. You're not going to learn if you do that. Like, you just got to anchor in, rewind stuff, watch part of it, reflect, come back, watch part of it, watch it more than once, okay? I'm only doing this channel because I love helping you with music, okay? This is not paying the bills. So, nor do I really want it to. I just love helping you guys learn this stuff. Okay. So here's like the intro. Oh, one thing I didn't put in the chart, it's kind of cool. If you look at the shape right here, here's an A. See that? A. See that? I kind of just hit that, and then I go into a slow. I actually got that from a Jane's Addiction, so. This is the intro. Drum-filled verse. Have you seen my? And then it goes into the vocal. Okay, let's go on to the electric part. So I gotta switch out the guitar, and then I'm gonna show you what I put underneath that. And I just did this recently, and I'm gonna have all the charts for this. Again, it's all in the ebook. So let's go do that now. Okay, here we go. Next chart. Now we're moving on to the electric, and this is what we'll be playing simultaneously with the acoustic in the intro and verse parts. So if you see this, this is an A major triad, A, C sharp, E. You'll see the D add for the purple note. I'm going to explain that in a minute, because we want to add a little vibe, a little flair here. The song's kind of got a funkier groove. Now remember, the first chord in the acoustic was that A5. So we're going to have this play a triad on the G, B, and high E strings. Now, why is this so good too? Because you're going to get the rhythmic part too, and you're going to have to really step up your game for your muting. Again, maybe this is the only dot you connect. Maybe you go straight to this and you just work on this. So you're going to have to really tighten this up. So now you hear I am strumming pretty heavy-handed on that A major triad, and I'm adding the D with my pinky. You don't hear all these strings ringing out because I'm muting them with my thumb, or I'm just tightening up my attack. Really, it's a teamwork effort between these two hands. So I told you this lesson is going to be deep. You're getting some pretty deep rhythmic stuff too, okay? So if you think of that acoustic guitar going, and then you're on electric going. Now, why are we doing it here? We're adding a little more high-end content, all right? We're not going to really try and compete with the acoustic guitar and play some of those lower notes. Now, just to point out too, this is an inversion. You see how the E is the lowest fundamental note of this triad? And the triad I put in blue. I'm just adding that 4 in there for a little like flavor of color. E, A, C sharp. So that's a 5, 1, 3, okay? I didn't put the 5, the 1, or the 3 or any of that stuff, but you can get this. Okay, let's move on to the second part, this chart right here. Now, if you see this, because the acoustic, if we go back, was playing that C sharp minor 7, right? We're gonna just hit a C sharp minor triad right here as a bar, and I'm gonna explain the purple E and B. Just give me one sec, okay? C sharp minor, okay? So you've got E, G sharp, C. Again, another inversion, all right? But it's a C sharp minor triad. And these are why you want to learn your triad shapes. Now, what I do here is I throw my pinky on, and sometimes I add that high E, an extra E. Sometimes I just grab it and add that B. And it happens really quickly, so maybe you just do this today. You could just go straight to E, B, and C sharp, or just grab E, G sharp, and E. Now, for you theory buffs, if you were to really hold this and emphasize it, E, G sharp, E, technically what would you be doing there? You wouldn't be playing the C sharp minor triad, and you'd be playing just an interval. You'd be playing an E to G sharp, which is a major third. See why you want to know this stuff? Listen, you don't have to learn the theory. I don't understand people that don't want to know it, because don't you want to like have more command of your instrument, right? And this is how you really learn the notes. So, okay, and there's a really fun part coming up in just a minute. All right, so let's go to the next part. And if you see here on this chart, D, F sharp, A, it's a D major triad. But again, it's an inversion because you got A as the lowest fundamental note. And I know we're just playing it from the G string, but in this case, this one solo isolated guitar, that's what's going on. Now, what I do here too, I like adding that extra A up there on the 17th fret on the high E. See that? So it's kind of like this. So just see if you can get that. All right, so that would be you playing underneath, or let's say your friend's playing the acoustic on this song, or whatever it may be. You're playing electric, you guys are playing different voicings, right? And that's what music is. That's what creative musicians that know what they're doing do. And if you're not there yet, I'm gonna help you get there. Just stick with me. Hit that like button. If you're new, you know what to do. If you've been around, love you like always. Team Jellyfish. All right, now, let me just kind of play that whole thing. So, and that's kind of how I'd end it with it, okay? So there's your little electric guitar intro. And it's such, these are like multiple lessons roll into one, because you could just practice these triads. Just that little progression right there on the G, B, and high E will give you so much. You got the theory part, you're learning triad shapes on the G, B, and high E string set. You guys know I've done so many triad videos, and I always will, I won't stop. And then you're adding these little other extra notes to kind of embellish the triad a little bit, okay? So just look. There you go. Boom. Okay, let's go to the next part. Here comes the fun part. Okay, let me see how we can explain this. This right here should be, excuse me, a separate lesson. Now, let me explain the pink, the purple, and the orange, okay? So on the top left, though, you need to see F sharp Aeolian, which is an F sharp natural minor scale, C sharp Phrygian, okay? Those are modes from the key of A major, okay? And what I do here is I play this is, you're gonna love this. It's a funky little riff that goes underneath the verse and the vocals, okay? And it just adds a little bit of movement and hop. I really liked it. I think I'm gonna keep it in the track once we send it off to my mastering guy in Florida. So it's gonna be cool. So F sharp Aeolian, C sharp Phrygian. If you look, I wrote out all the notes. Those are all the exact same notes, okay? Just rearrange A major scales. All right, but I wanted you to see from the top, if I were gonna play a C sharp Phrygian scale, I would just start in the low E. I just wanna go low E to high E for you, look. Okay? So you could take part of this lesson where I'm breaking down this song, and you could just do your own mini lesson, like play an A chord and then noodle around or target some notes out of this scale. Watch. Okay, enough. Anyways, now if we want to start playing an F sharp Aeolian scale, again, all these notes are the same. It's all the same. Look, you just start from the A string right here, F sharp. Okay, now let's get to the fun part of this, okay? So when I'm going, have you seen my pencil? Da da do do do. Okay, what we're gonna do here is we're gonna target just the orange notes inside the scale, because I think I should have listened to the recording. It doesn't matter, this is still good. These are the notes I'm actually hitting. Now you're gonna think more like a Chili Peppers guy, like John Frusciante or a funk player. Because you're gonna strum up, okay? But instead of doing like that, we're gonna get a heavy hand and get the funk. We're gonna get that percussive part. So I think I went, yeah. Now, this right here is a lot of technique going on, okay? If you don't get it, it's okay. So all I was doing there is I'm inside of these scales. Now, I could have just written out these orange notes for you and shown you the riff, but because this is Music Theory Monday, and I feel like I just owe it to you guys to show you, because some of you, it's gonna light bulb moments. Boop, 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 it's gonna keep clicking. That's all guitar is, okay? So a lot of you are gonna see, oh my gosh, natural minor from the A string is inside of C sharp, inside of the Phrygian. These are just patterns. You can move them to any key. Now we're in the key of A because we're playing this song in the key of A. But what you're gonna do here is you gotta get that thumb over, and if you can't get it, it's okay. Just see if you can create some kind of riff. You don't even have to play it the way I'm playing it. See if you can create some kind of one-note riff out of this scale, okay? Multiple scales really overlapping here, okay? So look. Okay, now remember when I went to that E major chord and I said I put those octaves in purple? And here when I'm playing this riff, I walk up, I think I go F sharp, G sharp, and I go up to the B. So, or I might just go same kind of thing. I might just latch on with the acoustic playing the octave. See it. Yeah, so I probably walk it up. I might even start from F sharp and stay like a whole step ahead of the acoustic. F sharp, G sharp, B. Now here's a little question for you. Why? You can see a B is within the scale, but why would a B work when I'm playing an E major chord? Okay, and again, this right here, if you don't know the answer to what I just asked you, it's okay. I want you to want to know the answer. B's the fifth. B is the fifth of an E major triad. Remember E, G sharp, B? So maybe that's the only dot you connect, okay? And octaves always sound good. So if you can, just go to that C sharp on the D string, the first orange note. See if you can just strum all the strings and just get that one note to stand out. This is how it starts, look. You hear me hitting all the strings, but how many of them do you hear sounding out? Only the C sharp. When you get really good, then you can go. Now, is it okay? We're humans. Some of these extra little harmonics are gonna ring out, but that's just music. So that's where your skill set, as you progress, is gonna come into play, and you can turn it into a sounding musical, okay? Again, that's why just don't let the train stop. So, let's see. Okay, so there you go. So this right here was deep, just this one thing, because you got C sharp Phrygian. And I just, the reason I don't stop on C sharp there, just in case you're wondering, is I just like running the scale and finishing out the pattern the same way on the high E. All right, and then you've got F sharp Aeolian. Now, one thing I didn't show you, you could look at it like this. You have right here too, C sharp minor, a pentatonic. We're just adding all these extra notes. Again, modes are what? They're just moods. Modes are moods. They're just a flavor. So you, as the beautiful operator of this beautiful instrument called guitar, you're gonna decide what notes to target, what to emphasize, all right? So there's that. Now, let's just go to one more tiny thing and then we're gonna wrap this up. So I'm gonna give you this E major triad, E, G sharp, B. And it's funny, we just talked about B being the fifth, right? There you go. There's a perfect example, all right? So that actually happens in the song too, which will maybe, if you want me to break down this song even further, and I have multiple, I probably got about 15 songs in the catalog from this kid's TV show, and we're gonna keep working on more. And the music's super cool too, it's super sophisticated. But just see if you can get this E major triad, okay? Because there is a little turnaround there. Remember when we went to the E here? You could go to the E triad here. You go. Now, I don't add any other little notes, but you could add that fourth in there. So there you go. You guys, I gave you a lot. I told you this lesson was going to be deep, but I think this was cool too, because instead of having things a little more separated, you got to kind of see an actual real world production of how you think when you're producing music, or how, you know, I don't know where you guys want to take this. You might want to become a studio player one day. You might want to write for artists. You might want to just write your own stuff. You might want to just keep seeking out knowledge. Like, my personality is like, you're more not going to know it all, but I keep seeking, I keep wanting to know more, and I keep adding it to my guitar toolkit. Okay, so if you have any questions, drop them down below. You guys know we'll answer. Get the ebook, go through all of these charts, okay? Don't pay attention to that cover page, but I just love putting all the dots on there so everyone's head spins for a bit. But just go through the acoustic guitar intro, and if you don't have an acoustic, play it on your electric. Here's the acoustic guitar intro on those. All right, you see, it sounds killer. It doesn't matter. You just take whatever you learn and apply it to whether it's acoustic, electric, but I wanted to give you the true breakdown of the song, because you haven't even heard the bass line I played, or the drummer, what he played, and then all the vocal stacks. But if you want to hear the full mix when it's done, let me know. Just gonna get it remastered. But again, this is how you can learn to become a better musician. I don't know what your personal goals are, but I think everybody should at least strive to be the best version of themselves. And no matter what, whether you never leave your bedroom or your space, I want you to have more fun. And the more you know, the more you understand, the more fun guitar is, right? Okay, so drop jellyfish or your favorite sea creature in the comments, and we'll get to the story of, some of you have asked what's the jellyfish thing mean. You guys tell them what jellyfish means. They'll get it. Definitely tell us where you're watching from. Let me know if you can handle any more of this brain-melting lessons in the future. So again, I probably could have broken this into 5 or 6 different lessons. But again, all the chapters are in here. Go watch. Just keep going. Don't stop. Always have fun. That is the goal number 1. And always trust your ears. If it sounds good, it sounds good. Don't be too rough on yourself. All right? So only you could stop you. Don't stop. Keep going. I will see you in the next video. Peace.